The second thing is quality of service. Ultimately, when you're delivering the power plant, there's no question that there are a few components that are very, very critical. Along with modules and with the inverter, you're probably spending 70-75% of your capital investment there. And the inverter is at the heart of the system. It is what is going to make a difference ultimately when you're trying to generate the energy. And the quality of the inverter, the quality of support that you get, and the quality of people that you have supporting you in deploying that plant are all going to be critical. And monitoring, and it's interesting because some of these may appear to be fairly surprising, like remote monitoring. The problem is you're 200 kilometers away from the city. Things that you take for granted are not necessarily as simple as what you think it is. These are factors that you have to consider because end of the day, monitoring is very important. You cannot live without that. You have to know that. And so these kinds of factors are not very straightforward. In the case of solar power plants, what we have control over is the kind of design that we put together, the kind of system design, the choice of location, the solar insulation, the kind of management of the derating factors that actually maximize your output. Temperature plays a very important role in derating. Higher the temperature, lower the efficiency of the plant. You have issues of conversion losses. You've got heat losses because you're moving DC around. So these are losses that are very important to make sure that are considered, managed, and optimized to get to where you need to get to in terms of the kind of plant load factor that you can rationalize for your financial viability. You can't just simply go with the assumption that the CRC has told me that I can take 1.7 million units a year and then decide, yes, my financial plan is going to depend on 1.7 million units. Unfortunately, if you're going to build a power plant 200 kilometers from here versus building it in Gujarat or Rajasthan, can have a fairly large effect on one hand with respect to where you are, plus on the other, the kind of system design you put in place, the kind of evacuation you have in place, and so on. So one of the critical things that I have found as a factor the developer has to take care up front is the quality of the project management and the quality of change control that needs to be put in place to manage plans of this kind is absolutely crucial. Given that there are areas where we have some control over and others where we don't, like for example the weather, I can't predict the sun and when it's going to be out, what is going to control the weather on a particular day and therefore generation on a particular day, I do have control over certain things. I have control over system design, I have control over evacuation, I have control over land, I have control over project management, I have control over change control. These are all very, very important things. And they have a significant impact on the most important thing that you care about in a power plant, which is generation. And that has direct impact on the financial viability of the project.